Before he could even start any beef, we were brought into the next room, and again, we're split into groups, this time of 4. They really liked group activities in this thing. Walking through the doors to the challenge, everyone was stationed around a respective gift coffin. After opening them up, it was revealed we were going to be playing a big version of Operation, the game where you try to pick up fake little organs with fake medical tools without touching the sides. So, simulated surgery. Like, I guess that was kinda in Squid Game. At least they decorated the boxes like it, but I mean, we're really pushing it at this point. Jacob and I randomly got paired up with this married couple, and the 4 of us started inspecting the tools, when suddenly, the woman goes, "Oh, will you pass me the forceps?" She's a surgeon. Oh my god, we just happened to be paired up with a lady whose literal job was operation. The challenge began and the 3 of us took our hands off the tools, she cracked her knuckles, and we watched as all the plastic organs were suddenly out of the prop body. Not surprisingly, our team was the first to finish. When we got back together with Joe and Jax, we explained how we got super lucky to be paired up with an actual surgeon that literally soloed the whole thing, and Joe was like, "Wait, that guy was a surgeon?" And Jacob and I had to shake our heads and say, "No, Joe, she was a surgeon." Damn it. Now that we were entering the 4th challenge, it was time to get serious. This was the first game where people would start getting eliminated for realsies. But not realsies. Everyone was split into 2 groups and taken to one side of a wall where there was a bunch of prop boats. It was a kind of not really IRL version of Battleship where we had to try and shoot down all the other side's boats, and the team that won would progress into the 5th game. I would describe this idea as good enough. Sure, you know, we didn't get to choose where to put our boats since they were bolted to the floor, but I guess we did only pay $40 to be here. For some reason though, the staff member on our side was, we can call it, extremely helpful. At first he was saying general tips, like, so if they still have a 4-tile boat, let's check all the areas that could fit that. You know, saying vague hints to help us out a bit. But by the end of it, he was just straight up telling us, if I were you guys, I would shoot right here. Like, this guy wanted us to win, and win fast, so either he had some kind of bet going on with the other staff members, or dude just had places to be. All the other team's boats were sunk, and the remaining 15 or so people were led into the semi-final game. It was obvious as soon as we saw her, we were finally playing the classic red light, green light. It was decorated like the show, the doll was there, but there were giant gift boxes scattered around the room to act as obstacles, because when you think about it, red light, green light isn't high stakes when staff can't actually shoot the contestants. Like, something had to be added to spice it up a bit. We gathered on the starting line, and the game started. As we were playing, I was thinking, how are they measuring if we're moving or not? You know, I doubt they recreated the entire motion tracking doll thing just for this pop-up that's getting torn down after a month. I figured the only thing they could be using to track motion is our wristband, so in between the green lights, I focused extra hard on making sure my wrist stayed as still as possible. In fact, I was focusing so hard on my wrist that I didn't even realize I was the first one to pass the finish line. Unfortunately, similarly to the janky glass memory game, it seemed like a lot of the wristbands were super wonky as well because a lot of people got pinged as eliminated no matter how still they were, including Jacob and Jax, which was a huge buzzkill. Either that or they were just built to be super sensitive and somehow my weak little carpal tunnel wrists decided to not shake for the first time in 5 years. I turned back to see just 3 people left. One of them being Joe. They all lunged forward, and as red light was called for the final time, I watched as Joe tripped and crashed into them, causing every person left to topple to the floor.